Good morning or good evening. I hope you are all always well. I'm Lulu. These are my daily stories. I hope you share the happiness with every adventure I have with my friend Marshmallow. Here we go. It all started in the school's kitchen during a rainy Thursday, when Lulu and Marshmallow went searching for cookies and came back with a cosmic appliance. Lulu was rummaging through the cupboard when she spotted it. A gleaming, silver tea kettle with strange symbols engraved around its base. It gave off a faint hum, like it was thinking. She held it up. Weird. This doesn't look like the other kettles. Marshmallow, who had been trying to squeeze into a cereal box for unknown reasons, stopped and squinted. The tea kettle had a label. But not just any label. It said, Professor Thistlewhisk's temporal teapot, steep carefully. Of course, Lulu did not steep carefully. She filled it with water. Set it on the stove. Waited for the whistle. Instead of steam, the kettle began to glow. Violet at first. Then blue. Then green. Then, boink. The world around them went wibbly-wobbly. The walls wobbled like jelly. The clock spun backward. Marshmallow did a double flip in the air and landed with his fur all puffed up like a powdered donut. When the light faded, Lulu gasped. They weren't in the kitchen anymore. They were in the kitchen, 100 years ago. Everything was different. The walls were stone. The fridge was an icebox. And a woman in an enormous feathered hat was fanning herself dramatically beside a bubbling cauldron. Good heavens, she shrieked. A child and a cat just fell from the air. Lulu waved nervously. Hi. Sorry, just time kettle stuff. The woman looked at the teapot and gasped. Is that Professor Thistlewhisk's kettle? That's a Class 4 magical relic. You shouldn't be steeping that without gloves. Marshmallow sniffed indignantly, as if to say, obviously. The woman introduced herself as Madame Parsnip, and offered them a seat beside the fire while the kettle sputtered and steamed softly. While they waited for the next time burst, Madame Parsnip gave them old-timey cookies, which were just okay, and showed them a spell book bound in marmalade sticky pages. Back then, she said, we made tea with time and not just in time. Lulu blinked. Isn't that dangerous? Oh, absolutely, Madame Parsnip said with a cheerful nod. Before Lulu could ask any more, the kettle let out a sharp tweet. Time folded again. Now they were in the future. Lulu blinked at the neon walls, glowing plants, and robots humming lullabies to floating tea trays. Marshmallow floated too, strapped into a tiny hover chair shaped like a tuna can. They had landed in a tea lounge called Quantum Sips, EST 2124. A friendly android handed Lulu a cup of anti-gravity Earl Grey, and said, "Please don't time loop on the furniture." They drank politely while the kettle fizzed ominously nearby. Each whistle from the kettle sent them to a different time, a medieval castle kitchen where a knight mistook Marshmallow for a royal heir. A pirate ship where tea was used as currency, and Lulu almost bought an island with a single lemon scone. A prehistoric cave where Marshmallow tried to teach a dinosaur how to purr. Finally, Lulu said, "Okay. This has been fun, but I think it's time to go home." Marshmallow nodded, tail twitching. She poured one last cup, whispered, "Back to now, please," and took a sip. Whoosh! The familiar kitchen returned. The rain still tapped at the windows. The cookies sat quietly in their jar as if nothing had happened. Except for the kettle, which now wore a little crown made of gold foil and quietly burped steam. Lulu and Marshmallow sat at the table, wide-eyed. After a long pause, Lulu said, "So, you want a normal hot chocolate or another spin through centuries of chaos?" Marshmallow flicked his tail and knocked over a spoon. Hot chocolate it was. That night, as Lulu tucked Marshmallow into his puffy cat bed, she whispered, "Time travel is exhausting. But I'm glad we did it together." And Marshmallow, purring in agreement, batted the kettle gently with one paw, just in case.